Welcome to The Wedding Biz with Andy Kushner, the show about the global wedding business and your backstage pass to the happily ever after world of professional dream makers.
I gave you my heart on a silver platter, 'cause you made my dreams come true. It won't crack, baby, it'll never...
Hey everyone, it's Andy Kushner, host of The Wedding Biz, and today we have a really special episode. This is particularly fun because our guest is Rayshun Lamarr, who is absolutely killing it on the TV program The Voice as a singer, and as of today, he is now in the top 12. Now, why is this relevant to The Wedding Biz? Because he has been honing his craft in an event band, happens to be mine. However, weddings has been the majority of the work, and he talks about why he feels weddings are so important and performing them is so profound for him. And he gives powerful and insightful advice that we all can use on how to live a creative life in spite of personal challenges. And I want to explain that when this was recorded, it was Sunday, April 15th, so it was the day before the lives started, which was April 16th and 18th, in which he first performed a song, Overjoyed, and now because the public votes, he actually did not make it that day, and so his last opportunity was last Wednesday, in the next appearance, and he sang a song called I'm Going Down, and he electrified the show, absolutely blew it off, tore the roof off. And this is in front of not only millions of people, but the judges are Adam Levine, Kelly Clarkson, Alicia Keys, and Blake Shelton. His coach, as you'll find out, is Adam Levine, and they all gave him a standing ovation, and the crowd went nuts. I mean, absolutely crazy. His performance, it took him to a whole nother level. It took the show to another level. And again, the public then voted him into the top 12. Ironically, I talked with him during the interview before this electrifying performance about his level of energy and how he maintains it. And we also discuss his performances, every one of them on The Voice, starting with the pressure-filled blind audition. And again, throughout this story, this is something all of us in this industry can be inspired by. And keep listening, because at the end, he gives us a very special surprise, which you'll see. And I want to urge everyone to look at the links, perhaps even during the episode while you're listening, certainly at least before in the show notes, because we're going to give you the links to his performances in the show and also some other performances that no one in the world has gotten to see is also going to be in the show notes. And be sure to tune in tonight, the night that this is released, April 23rd, to The Voice on NBC starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and all the following shows, and vote for Rayshun. Enjoy my conversation with Rayshun Lamarr. Rayshun, man, we missed you last night in Scottsdale.
Listen, I missed y'all.
I know. Sound Connection is one of those productions where we do a show and the dance music later. You know,
that's the best part about that. Like, I missed all the out of town gigs. The away gigs were the best because, like I said, like, we just had the best performances there. I mean, we still have great performances, but I keep saying we have because I'm still a part of the group. No, kick me out.
Well, if things go well, you'll be doing something else.
Right.
I know.
But my blood, sweat, and tears are still in that band.
Well, and you were talking about weddings, and we're going to get to that too. But you are, man. In the meantime, you are killing it on The Voice, Rayshun. I'm so proud. We're so happy for you.
I'm happy for myself. It's an exciting moment.
Yeah.
You know? It's been, everybody asks how I feel about it sometimes. And I'm like, sometimes I don't have a word to describe it because it's exciting. It's nerve wracking. It's fun. You know, sometimes you get so tense. It's just everything all balled up in one, but it's all a great experience. So
and the thing is, it's been going on for you for months and months and months. So you're like in this zone, I imagine.
I'm in the zone now. It just took me a while to get there, but
Well,
I finally feel.
And we're going to come to that too. I want to talk about, each of the competitions you've done so far, because you've done the blind auditions, you've done the battle round, the knockout round, and then tomorrow when this comes out, the lives will have done, you will have appeared, right? Because you're going to appear tomorrow.
On the playoffs,
because this is the 15th of April.
Yep. And the playoff starts the 16th tomorrow.
Oh man. And is it live literally tomorrow?
It is literally live.
So this is now a whole new ball game.
So this is a whole new ball game.
And the public starts to vote.
And the public starts to vote. So that's another added pressure.
Well, we're going to urge everybody to vote for you for sure.
Please do.
Yeah, and the judges on this show this time, you got Adam Levine, Alicia Keys, Kelly Clarkson, Blake Shelton, and in a minute we'll talk about whose team you're on for those who don't know, who somehow have missed
You've been
this.
sleeping under a rock, guys.
Yeah, we're going to definitely get into all this. But, I want to start from the beginning because I'm really interested in what was the earliest memory of music that you have?
Wow. So I must say the earliest memory of real music that I had was when I was living in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And I remember just being a young kid and just being at church and loving just singing along with the choir. And then there was one point my grandmother was in the choir.
Yeah.
So I would just sit in the choir with her sometimes.
Oh, she'd let you, and you're like,
she would just let me
how
sit,
old you are at this point?
God, I think I'm maybe 5.
Oh,
I can tell you,
young.
I was really young.
Had a strong impression.
Oh yeah, and I remember just wanting to be right there, either beside the drums or beside somebody singing. My first passion, I thought I was gonna play the drums. I remember being like 5 years old, just banging on everything, banging on pots and pans, and my granddad trying to come and get me and all that stuff. Like, chill out. But I loved the drums, but then I also loved singing and I loved music. So I just fell in love, and that was my earliest memory, I must say, of just when I first kind of fell in love with music.
Well, so what about around the house? Like, what did your parents do? Were they also into music? And
my parents were also into music, not like how I am.
Yeah.
They just both love, to listen to good music. Or my mom can actually sing, and so can my dad, but they don't really pursue it. He's singing at church, and my mom she just will not sing in public. Oh. But you hear around the house, she has a good voice. She has,
So they would play a lot of music in the house, while you were growing up?
Yeah, I would listen to a lot of. So while in North Carolina, I remember I would listen to a lot of Anita Baker. I would listen to a lot of Earth, Wind and Fire. Oh. I would listen to a lot of all the oldies like Stevie. I would listen to a lot of Stevie Wonder. Yeah. The Jackson 5s. Like, I loved all that type of music, and that's kind of what pumped me up all the time.
So what was the first time that you, did you take any lessons? Do you remember the first time you performed, singing a song in front of people?
Yeah, the very, very, very first time I did my first solo in front of people. This is when I moved to DC. Okay. I was living on Bowling Air Force Base, and we had the little youth choir.
Wait, how old are you, just so I can stay
at this age, I believe I might have been maybe 11, 12.
Okay, so you're with your family, so they moved to DC.
Yeah. So we're with my family now, because my mom and my dad, my mom and it's actually my stepdad. Okay. And they got married, and he was in the military, so we moved to DC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how I ended up in DC. Yeah, so I had this song called I'll Fly Away. And that was my very first ever solo in anywhere.
And you look like you vividly remember it.
Yeah, I vividly remember it, because the crazy part about that day, when I first got chosen to do the solo, I was like, oh, okay, I'm excited. This is my moment, to shine in church. So I practiced over and over and over and over and over. And this is what I realized about over practicing. And now as an adult, but at that age, I had no technique. I had no training. So I just didn't know what I was doing. So I'm rehearsing the night before, just full out. Next morning, voice.
Oh, no, come on. This is for your first performance?
Very first performance. Very first ever solo performance. Oh. Voice just, so I'm like, man, what do I tried to blame it on the mic. I was like, the mic was going on and on.
Oh, you didn't realize so you were in front of people that you lost your voice.
No, I woke up that morning and I realized when I was talking and trying to practice the song again, it wasn't coming out.
Oh, man.
So I remember knocking on my neighbor's door and 2 other neighbors. I'm like, do you guys have any cough drops? Do you have any, point, at that time, I didn't know what to do. I just thought, oh, give me a cough drop. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm knocking on neighbors' doors saying, do you guys have any cough drops? I need a cough drop. I got a solo to sing in like 2 hours and I have no voice. So, I mean, something came out that day, but it was not what.
But at that time,
I wanted it to
did you like feel at that time that I'm gonna be a singer? Like, did you have that kind of
I did. I had that kind of impression because I loved music growing up. You know, my parents, like I said, played really good music, and I just loved being around and just singing and humming. So I knew that I was going to be something. Like it was either going to be a drummer or a singer or a dancer. Because there's a moment I'll tell you about that. Okay. Where I just swore. I mean, I loved to dance. I loved MC Hammer. So I thought I was going to be,
Can't touch this,
I'm a little kid, right? So I'm like, I want my MC Hammer pants and I'm going to be, whatever.
So I got to get a picture of that.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So I wanted to be in the spotlight.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was going to be singing, acting, dancing, playing the drums.
So you had the bug for performing.
Yeah. I knew that I was going to be a performer.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else that I would ever think about me doing. But performing or entertaining or being somewhere seen, and it's so weird because I used to be really, really shy. Like really,
that's hard
really
to believe.
No, I totally used to be shy. And my cousin will tell you, they used to try to get me to sing in front of them. I would have the hardest time singing in front of my family.
Wow.
But random people,
yeah, I
would just go. And I don't know what that was about, but now I'm just all in it.
So when did you then start to really be performing as a singer?
So I really started coming out and performing as a singer when I went to Duke Ellington School of the Arts.
Oh, okay. Is this high school?
This is high school. Yep.
Man, that sounds amazing to me to go. I mean, the music hit me when I was 6 and I was, heavy into it at 9, started my first band gigging at 15. And if I had something like that, I mean, wow, I can't imagine you're surrounded by like-minded people.
Yeah.
Right now, was it Duke Ellington? That's just music, right? It's not necessarily also dance or is everything
it's music,
performing
it's
arts?
Dance, it's theater.
So the whole high school is a bunch
visual arts. Yeah.
What was that?
Everybody, a bunch of artsy kids in this.
What was that like
building.
for you?
Man, I tell you, I hated elementary and middle school.
Yeah.
I did not ever want to miss a day of high school.
Right.
Never, ever. If I was sick, I would just try to be like, Mom, I'm okay. I'll just eat some soup. I'll do it. I'm good. I got to go to school. I got to learn. I got to be around these gifted people. I got to every day was something interesting. Whether it was something interesting happening in the cafeteria, somebody like a group of artists getting together and performing just out of the blue during lunchtime, or just, random stuff going on in the building, which was just artsy stuff. You never wanted to miss that moment because every day something happened and you didn't want to be that person that missed the most important thing that happened of the day during the day. So I never wanted to miss school. I mean, I loved learning. I loved math, English, and all that stuff. Yeah. But, the arts is where it was.
So what was the moment that you knew? Because like you say, you knew you wanted to perform, but you weren't sure what genre. Do you remember the moment when you were like, this is it, I'm going to sing?
The moment I knew that was when I got into this group called the Show Choir, which was at Ellington High School.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, I didn't realize that I was good.
Really?
I knew that this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I didn't know I was as good as other people said that I was.
So it's a little bit of an issue of self-esteem?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I struggled with that for a minute, but I just didn't hear what everybody else heard. But I knew that I wanted to get to the point where I wanted to accept it and hear what everybody else is hearing and figure out how good it was. And that moment came when I joined Ellington Show Choir, and Mr. Bonds, which was our choir director, he gave us, he trusted me to do Stevie Wonder.
Which song?
So so it was like it was a Motown review, and we did a couple songs.
Yeah. So
he trusted me to do that, and the guy that did it before me was amazing. So he fit the whole role of Stevie Wonder. So I'm like, wow, he sounds like Stevie, kind of looks like Stevie. Like, how do you pick me to do his part now? So I was like, well, he's trusting me to do this. And I sang Sir Duke, I sang I Wish, and I sang Ribbon in the Sky. It was
because in Sound Connection, you would kill on I Wish.
Yep.
Kill.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what else did we have? And I was also part of the Temptations in that thing.
Right.
But Stevie Wonder and it was the first night we had our concert, and the crowd went crazy when I did it. And I was like, wow, well, maybe this is really good. This is what I need to be doing, because it was me outside of the ensemble.
Right.
It was me spotlight by myself, playing Stevie Wonder, lights everywhere, on a big stage, which Ellington had a really good theater and a really good stage for artists. And I just then felt like chills. I instantly was like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how it's going to be. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Yeah. Something. I need to be on this stage. And I knew it was music, and I knew it was singing right then and there when I saw the reaction to the crowd and the response that I got afterwards.
So as you're heading toward graduating from high school, like, what were your thoughts career-wise?
So after I graduated from high school, let's start right before I graduated.
Okay.
Like maybe towards the end of my junior and senior years, I started dabbling into the theater department a little bit. Not actually going and taking classes, but I was very interested in the musical theater aspect of the arts. So I would, show choir would also make you take dance lessons and make you take theater lessons. Yeah. So that being in that kind of merged me to kind of dibble and dabble in the musical theater field. And so that was a big thing for me. I really wanted to do The Lion King. I always tell myself, I'm going to be on Broadway. I'm going to do The Lion King. Right. And that was my dream out during senior year of high school. Yeah. So, I finally graduated, but also let me just not forget this. Sure. I learned all types of music at Ellington. That's where my whole...
Yeah, because you are pretty versatile. I mean, I will get to, the voice and even the band, the kind of style that you're finding for yourself. But yeah, so they were exposing you to everything.
Yeah, they were exposing me to everything. And this little Southern country boy coming from North Carolina, I wasn't used to hearing classical music. I wasn't used to hearing jazz. I wasn't used to hearing, whatever, anything different. I was just growing up in North Carolina. Even though we heard, all the Michael Jackson and all that stuff, I was just used to gospel, R&B. Yeah. Those were the only two things that I was around or surrounded by. Right. So that's all I thought mattered until I got to Ellington and I realized, wow, there's a whole nother world of other genres that I haven't even tapped into that I am totally interested in. And it's just all amazing. Like, I love every genre of music. There's no bad genre of music, in my opinion.
Well, then, so what were you thinking that you were going to do, though, when you were out of school? I mean, that's a big moment. It's now you're going into the world. Did you have any specific goal in mind?
Yeah, so I remember I had a goal. I told myself by the age of 23, I was going to create my first record. And I told myself that I was going to be on a show, whether it's Broadway or off Broadway. Okay. I told myself I was going to do those two things by the age of 23.
Okay. And we're talking, so you're 18.
So I was 18 in college, 19, 20, 21. So it's kind of like right after college. Yeah. And that when life actually hit and that stuff didn't actually happen,
But when you say it didn't happen, it's not like you didn't move to New York City to go for it. You didn't move to LA, right?
No. Yeah, I didn't move to LA and I didn't move to New York City. But in my mind, and mind you, I'm just...
Well, you're young. Is it like they're going to find you kind of a thing?
Right. So, and back then, I'm like, okay, well, now that I've felt like, I have a gift. Maybe if I sing on this or sing with this group, then I'll get noticed.
I got you.
Or then I'll get... But I when I was in college, I was going back and forth to New York doing, musical theater auditions. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of a step. And I got quite a bit of callbacks at certain moments. Uh-huh. And so that was kind of a booster for me. And I thought, okay, well, maybe Broadway is going to be my journey now. Mm-hmm. And then that didn't pan out to work out. And I'm like, it's so much going on. I mean, there's so much you have to do to just get in there and do whatever, when it comes to being on the big stages, let me not say the big stages, but when it comes to being on stages in New York and LA and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know that the public really gets it's almost like these overnight, even like the TV shows, you know, I mean, overnight kind of success, and they don't know what goes into this.
That's a lot of work. Like literally, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. When people say that stuff is real.
Well, and what about also I was going to say emotional side? It's more like, because to me, that might even be more than 50%. And especially, again, you know, eventually we're going to come to The Voice and talk about, because I don't know how you're handling the pressure. I don't know. We're going to come to that. But there's that side too of what you got to deal with. And the rejection, right? Going to these auditions. That's one thing. Part of it.
Yeah, it's definitely part of it. And that's one thing that I took kind of hard when I first got into, you know,
you mean like the first no's you're talking about?
Yeah, the first no's, or the first like, you're not what I'm looking for. And that's, you know, the first, you're too this or you're too that. Just actually being able to sit and have somebody criticize you or just tell you no because of either what you look like or how you sound or what you are or whatever the case is. You know, it was kind of tough. I wasn't used to all that. Back, you know, I came straight from high school. Everybody loved me in high school. So I'm like, okay, cool. But no,
but you know, just taking those going, but you kept going though.
I kept going. I was down for maybe like a hot second.
Yeah.
And I will say that. And I had a reality check. I'm like, listen, this is life. You're going to be told no. You've been told no from other things in your life before. This is just happens to be something that you really, 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 really want to do or whatever the case is. So toughen up. Get over it.
Wow.
Get out there.
So what happened then? Like, what was the first, let's call it paying situation?
I would say the first paying situation was when I was auditioning for this independent record thing. This is going back to,
I don't think I know about this. All right.
Yeah, I was auditioning for this little record thing. I was still young. And
where are we headed here? Okay.
And I was auditioning for this little label. I went in there thinking I was the stuff.
Yeah.
And I went in there just giving what I called my best performance, or what I thought was a really good performance.
Yeah.
And there was a panel of like, there was somebody, I can't remember the artists that were there, but there was somebody that was well known in the music industry there. I can't remember who it was at the time, but they all looked at me and they were like, what are you going for? What's your goal? Like, what's your lane? Like, who are you? What are you as an artist?
Yeah.
Because we don't see any of it. You sound average. You know, there's nothing special about you. So that was real tough. That was the very first one. And I was like, oh, dang. They like kicked me in the stomach on that one, but okay, I guess I needed it so that I can get out of my head.
I was going to say, right.
You know, I needed it.
And these are valid questions.
Yeah. They're extremely valid questions, especially in this industry that we're in.
So it sounds like you took it in eventually. You learned.
Oh, yeah. I took it in and I mean, I was hurt. I was sad, but I took it and I thought about it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know what? Maybe I just need to get my things together and get myself together and just know that people aren't going to always like who you are or like what you do. Just get over it. Move on. Somebody will.
But you know, Rayshun, that's something that stops a lot of people aspiring, whatever it is, actors, painters, singers. What do you think it is in you that kept you going anyway?
I think for me, it was just the desire to be on stage.
Yeah,
or to be,
it was that strong.
Yeah. Because I can't see myself doing anything else.
Right.
Just literally. I mean, you know, I can do other things, but I just don't see, I don't have a passion for anything other than music and being on stage. So I just knew I had to, if I really wanted to get there and if I really wanted to do it, it's not going to happen overnight. I have to put in the work.
Yeah.
I got to rehearse.
Yeah.
I got to not think that, oh, you got a good voice and just, it's going to be like that every day. If when you wake up, no, that's not true. You know, you just got to you got to be polished. You have to prepare yourself.
So how did you go about doing that? Did you have any mentors or was it just you by yourself? Like, how did you work on that?
So there was a guy named Reggie Pindell who was actually my vocal teacher at Ellington. I mean, not Ellington, sorry, at the University of the Arts. And I was just talking to him about some stuff and he was like, you know, hey, when you go out there, you know, it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
You know, he was still in the industry. He's still outperforming.
Right. And that's the kind of person you want to have be your mentor.
Yep. And he's still, till this day, I'm pretty sure he's still out performing and doing stuff like that. And he would just ground me and be like, hey, don't ever get ahead of yourself. Don't ever think you're better than anybody, because there are so many people out there that are way better than you. So, and just stay humble. So that's what I'm remaining. I've started, I like to take everything in. I don't take anything for granted. I'm thankful for everything. Yeah. I'm very appreciative. And I just love life and I love music and just putting it together.
This is something, I absolutely notice about you. I mean, I meant to figure out how many years we were working together. My
first official gig with you, I want to say 2007.
Okay, so it's 2011 years?
Yeah.
What?
Whenever we went to Guadalajara, that was my very first.
That when we played for the opening of Shiva Stadium.
Yes.
And we all got sick after?
And we all got sick after
we all came back.
That was my first official. I think I was doing like spot dates with you guys before.
That was a major
and
gig.
It was like the day before my birthday.
So you must have been like, this is it, right? Because we were like,
Man, we were all over the place.
That was huge.
Like, yo, this is huge. And for this to be my first official gig with you guys.
But wait a minute. Yeah. So if you're, because you said it on The Voice, it's not a secret. You're 32 right now, right?
33.
33.
Yep.
So wait a minute. That means you were 22?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Were we your first regular paying gig then?
Yeah. That was you guys were of course I did like weddings and stuff from a family member or like a good friend.
Yeah.
Calling, can you do this song at a wedding? But that you guys were my first like official paying gig.
Well, where I meant to go with this, there's a lot of places, but first of all is your sense of humility, Rayshun. That's something I've always known, because a lot of lead singers, we all know, there's prima donnas out there.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yes, they are.
And there's, as we know from a lot of these shows, there's people who think they can sing, but there's this whole thing. And you have always been so humble. And the thing is, it shows because the way you engage a crowd, people can see this on The Voice, even though it's TV, right? And Adam Levine talked a lot about it too, right? Why he wanted you so badly. And I think it's why he keeps choosing you. You're a great singer, you're a great performer. And there's this other thing that at that high level, I believe if you don't have that, it's not going to happen.
I believe,
And it's hard to find. Listen, I've been, you've seen it in our group with some people come and go.
Absolutely.
And for me, I got several bands now with Sound Connection. It's been a long time. And the issue of people remaining humble is so critical. So there's no drama created, right? With the people you're dealing with. And also the audience can tell, little tiny subtle thing affects how they take you. And sometimes, I know when I watch certain performers, I'm not going to name names, but there's certain ones who, they're really full of themselves, but there's another thing to the performance where that works.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, it's this inviting sense that the audience feels, right? With you as a singer. And so it's interesting, throughout the whole time, that I think has been a huge positive attribute of yours, and I don't know how you do it, because the kind of attention that you get, I don't know how you keep it. How do you stay grounded? We're mixing in a little of The Voice here and soon, I can't wait to get into details of it, but how do you stay grounded throughout this whole thing?
I don't know, man. This is just how I am 24/7. I don't take all the accolades and all that stuff to my head and to the attention.
Yeah.
I don't take it to the brain, because I know, I still got, that was just that last performance that you just saw, or that last whatever. That was just me then.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's almost like actors talk about that. You're only as good as your last movie, that kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just try not to, I don't know, man. I don't judge other people.
Yeah.
I just been this way for a while. I just feel like I have noticed that I am a little different than other people when it comes to just being humble, or just being a happy person, or just being whatever. It's just something about me. It's just, I don't know. I've just always been happy. I've always just tried not to be in the whole negative aspect of things.
I've noticed that, right.
I try not to trash other artists. I try not to, talk about other people, because other people can talk about me. I'm pretty sure they are or will, but that's not the whole negative vibe. I've never been into it. And I always try to take whatever everybody says, thank you, and you're great. I'll take it. Thank you. I truly am appreciative of it.
Right.
But I don't want it to pump my head to where I think better than anything or better than anybody.
Well, and here you are now being exposed literally to millions of people. You're on this stage there, And I would think, you're probably getting recognized some out there in the public. It's going to happen more as the lives continue, because I think you're going to go really far here. Yeah, I know. In the interviews and everything, all that stuff. And yet you still maintain that core attitude of yours, feeling good attitude of yours. Well, all right. So I want to also talk about the visual aspect. Okay. Like, again, to me, there's this inviting thing about you. There's the excitement, the energy. I notice it. Of course, I've seen it. Well, apparently for 11 years in Sound Connection, because you never wane. Like, I can't think. I mean, we've done hundreds of gigs.
Hundreds of gigs.
I can't think of a single one where you let up on the energy, even those times when, we'd be flying all over the world and be exhausted and stuff like that. Like, you somehow keep that going, and I'm seeing it on TV. Yeah. Right? That energy that you got.
It's the thing. It's just, I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, it's especially when we have an amazing audience. If we got an amazing crowd, woo, how can you not want to be energized or not want to be on your feet, running around the stage singing and giving your best? How could you not want that when they want that from you?
Yes, but okay, that's absolutely true. I'm for sure playing off the crowd, but I've seen many times, we have certain gigs where, because it's the beginning of the night or maybe it's a wedding and at first, whatever, where they're not necessarily yet in it.
Engaged,
you still keep that energy up regardless, though.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's you're performing. People are going to see you whether you think they're looking at you right now or right then and there. Right. But I cannot do a performance without giving it at least 80, 85, 90%. I just cannot. And talking about the voice, my voice coach goes in and on about this too. She's like, you always give your 100%, or like you always give all your energy. Where does it come from? And like, how do you keep it there? It's weird because we'll have our stage rehearsal singing on this huge stage and there's nobody in the audience. Right. And she's like, well, you're giving it like there's a million people in here. And I'm like, well, I have to. It's just something that I just cannot let up on.
But I'm going to add something to this too. There's muscle memory, right? Like, I know that's why they have you on that stage.
Absolutely.
And what she's saying, right? Because it's also a muscle memory thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also the more that you rehearse stuff or the more that you do it over and over again, it's going to come easier and easier when the real time comes, or when when you have to do it 1,000 times over, you'll be like that every day, every whatever. So
now, before we leave this topic and go into the voice, I keep doing a teaser here, you see, so people just keep, it's coming. Right.
It's coming.
But at the very, very beginning, it was interesting. I didn't ask you about it. You yourself talked about weddings.
Yeah.
And you were starting to sing for ceremonies and stuff like that. And then, with the band, we've done a boatload of weddings. Why did you say, of your own volition, how important weddings are to you?
Because I said that because weddings, that's a moment in time that will always be remembered by a certain. Those are special moments in life. Weddings are very special to people, and knowing that someone wants you to be a part of that moment, and knowing that somebody trusts you enough, to know that you're going to deliver on their special day, is something incredible. Doing a wedding is a huge thing. That means that person wants you in their life at some point, because you're getting married and you have this band or you have this singer that was a part of your wedding, so which is now you guys are married and you guys live 20, 40, 30 years together happily. We're still a part of your life because we were still there at that moment when you guys tied the knot and you guys made those vows to each other. So that means I'm a part of you guys' life, or whether it was the after party. We've created an atmosphere for you guys. We've created, a moment for y'all. So that's why I feel that weddings are so important, and just doing a wedding job or gig or whatever. I won't even look at it as a gig. It's an opportunity. And just to be a part of somebody's greatness or a part of somebody's future.
And memory.
And memory forever.
And again, I want to bring back to the whole emotion, and you, all of us do this, but you are so brilliant too at emoting and delivering what the song is about and touching people. And so, and they're out there, like they're dancing their first. I've seen you, heard you just sing many first dances. And Rayshun, every time you sing, I'm so moved and touched, and I'm looking at that bride and groom, and a lot of times I get welled up, and it's like you are expressing that emotion on their behalf in front of everyone there.
Yeah. And that's another moment right there in itself.
Yeah.
The first dance and then you're singing that. That's a huge moment.
You know, as exciting and important as corporate jobs and when we, you know, Vegas, all this other stuff that we do too, to me, the weddings are the most profound. All about love.
It's all about love and having a good time and being around. You know, you get to see that on other people's faces. And it's like, wow, they're having a great time. This is a hell of a moment for them. This is an awesome experience for them. And we're helping make it that wonderful experience, you know?
Right.
Who can ask for anything better than that? If you're getting married, like, come on. It's so good. I would go and do like little small weddings. It wouldn't be like the after
ceremony
party
you're talking about.
Yeah, it would just pretty much be like, oh, can you sing while we're walking down the aisle, or can you sing during this point of the ceremony?
Yeah.
But I would do like a lot of those, but it would be from like family members or like from friends and stuff like that who were getting married. And they would ask, hey, we have this special song. Can you just sing it at our wedding? And I was like, yeah. And then when I got the call, well, when I did the audition for you, can I tell this story real quick?
I know what you're going to say.
Because I have to let the world know.
No, go for it.
So, for all the Andy Kushner lovers out there. So I auditioned for Sound Connection many, many years ago. And so I guess the way that it was scheduled, I showed up a little earlier than I was supposed to show up, I guess. And I think I ended up going in someone else's time slot. And we did the rehearsal. I mean, the audition.
Right.
I mean, you guys filmed it. Like, everybody was in there. And like, great. Everything was super exciting, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. I feel good about this audition. So I get a call maybe 2 days ago. Hey, I can't remember who was in charge at the time.
Oh, I sent someone else?
Yes. You sent someone else.
My people.
Look at a little sneaky self. But he sent his people after me. And they were like, we think that you need some vocal lessons or maybe some vocal rehearsal. So I was like, yeah. So they were like, so we think you need a little bit of work or like some rehearsal or like some lessons or something. And she gave me somebody to call, and I was like, okay, cool. And I think maybe about 2 or 3 weeks later, Candace had called.
Right.
And was like, hey, can you sub? Can you fill in for me for this one gig? And I was like, sure. I get there and you were like, who are you? Like, we've never met before. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Well,
so I did the gig.
Yeah, but we were auditioning a ton of people.
Yeah, no, and I get it. And I totally understand that. So we get on stage. And then right after that, and I think that was the moment that I actually got in the gig. And I was like, I just auditioned for you last week and you told me I needed vocal lessons. So how I get into it now? But I just had to tell that story because that's so freaking funny to me. But I think I ended up going to someone else's time slot.
Yeah.
And then whoever called me,
not
just saying I was a horrible audition. Yeah, it might have had a crazy screwed up audition. But I just thought it was really good because everybody was like really excited about it.
Well, I can't remember exactly. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, especially that particular band, you know, it's super high level act. Yeah. I mean, this is not like wedding corporate band singers, musicians. Yeah. These are, you know,
absolutely.
Some of them, well, clearly it's starting to happen with you, like national level. And I think maybe at that time, I don't know, maybe it was the whole difference because sometimes it's a very subtle difference, right? Especially with great singers, you know, it's that subtle difference that makes them a hit singer. Sometimes, you know, very deep, subtle thing. So I think that when you're with the crowd at that time, like maybe now you can turn it on at any time way easier. Yeah. But, you know, 11 years ago, being on the stage with the crowd, there was just another another where I was like, okay, I get it now. I see it. And I do remember, Rayshun, I mean, it has been such an honor and to watch you evolve because everyone I see grow. Yeah. And as good as you were to get in the band at that time, I saw over the years just constant growth.
And I must say, like 90%, maybe like 75% of that came from you and just Sound Connection, period. Because I remember one of the earlier gigs, and you would just correct me on certain things, or like, you know, you should not sing this way, or you know, you shouldn't hunch over as much.
Oh, right,
just
I remember
subtle, that. Like subtle stuff you would just email me about, which along the way helped me to become a better performer on stage. Just like Sound Connection. All of our Sound Connection gigs have, I will say, prepared me for the next big things that are coming on up in my life. I feel like if it had not been for those moments, those gigs or those rehearsals or meetings, whatever, I don't think I would have been as prepared going into this situation. I might not even have been in this situation if it hadn't been for you guys.
Ooh, wow.
So I must say thank you in person.
Oh, Rayshun, man.
Thank you. You know, I mean, Sound Connection is my heart just as well as it is yours and your baby.
Yeah.
I mean, it will always be there.
Oh, and I appreciate that, Rayshun, very much. I really take it in. And you also help take us to another level, you know? And in terms of like those emails that you would talk about, you know, my thing, I mean, I feel like it's part of it's like a profound responsibility. You know, someone like yourself who clearly is so passionate about their art, which is so, it's not just, you know, the technique, in your case, vocal, because I'll do it with instrumentalists too, but it's also it's the whole persona, you know, it's delivering this message, it's emoting, it's connecting, right? In the end, it's all about connecting.
Absolutely.
And helping people to feel the emotion that's within them. And I feel like it's a very powerful, profound responsibility. First of all, for me, owning these bands and doing that. And I had, you know, boatload of very lucky mentors, including, you know, an amazing vocal coach who taught me all about, although I never became a great singer, you know, really understood singers. So I felt like that was part of my responsibility, was to help you grow. But again, you brought so much to it. So I am not taking that kind of responsibility. But also, Rayshun, you are so open. And you know, skipping around here doesn't matter. But on The Voice, I also noticed, like when you sang "Don't Stop Believin'" in the blinds, and you sang what was it? Oh, sweet thing. And I want to dig into these in a minute. But then when you sang "Fallin'," that's when I noticed, since you getting on The Voice, you have grown. That was when you sang "Fallin'," I was like, okay, he's reached another level. And it's your openness.
Yeah.
Do you notice that with yourself? Do you feel through this process of The Voice of several months, we're not even at the lives yet, your own growth?
Yeah, I totally feel my own growth. Like, I feel that, one thing in this competition, you have to be open. Like you just said, being open to different ideas. You have to be able to be open to different challenges. And speaking of Fallen, I don't know if you want to get into it now or later, but that was the week that I had a really hard time that week. As far as pressure, or as far as, you know, getting into my own head about, number one would be singing it in front of the person who sang and wrote the song, Alicia, and then trying to do it in a way where it's not cookie cutter copycat of the exact way,
which so many singers do. Right.
And I was trying to stay away from that because I don't want to just do it like her. I want to do the song, but I also, and this is another thing too, and I know you experienced it while we're in the band, I like to take songs and kind of make it my own in a way. I'm not saying I take the song and just totally reconstruct it.
But you can.
You can.
That's what I encourage too, is for you all to be an artist. Don't sing it the same as
I totally encourage people to not, I never sing a song almost the same way every single time.
I noticed that too.
And I just enjoy, it's just always a moment thing with me sometimes. A lot of times it's what's in this moment or how I feel at this moment, or it's that connection sometimes, a lot of times, that just makes me want to just change things up a little bit. But that was that was a moment that I had in my head. I'm like, okay, I don't want the people to judge me too bad because they're going to be watching. I have to hit this high note. I have to do this. It's a female song. It's Alicia Keys' song. I'm going up against these other badass singers that are going on tonight. And it was so much pressure that week. I think I had a moment where I just completely broke down, because I'm like, yo, I cannot go home. Like, I don't want to go home. This is really what I want to do. But yet I'm faced up against this one song that just kept screwing with me. Even though that was one of the songs that I had originally put on my list. I was going to say, you chose it. Yes, I put that song.
Knowing it would be a challenge for you?
No, I chose it knowing that it would be a challenge for me and knowing that things were going to happen, but I didn't realize how much
until you got into it.
Until I got into it.
Right.
You know?
But I'm going to add something about that. To me, like, there's this saying that really helps me so much. And I mean, I'm endlessly diving off cliffs without yet the net you know, and I just trust the net will appear.
Oh, yeah.
And I sense that with you too. To choose that kind of a song and knowing Alicia's there and knowing that is, here's the other thing. That song broke her, right? Into, you know, the business.
That was her song, yeah.
And so you had even more pressure to put your own twist on it because in everyone's mind, that vocal performance of hers is locked in.
Yep.
Locked.
Yep. And everybody is going with it from the T. Like it's just when somebody sings that song, the audience ear.
Yeah, it's like, what's he gonna
goes
do?
to what is
right.
Okay. Like, are you gonna do it like that? So, you know, and then the pressure of the comments that will come after or come during, which I've learned to not look at.
The comments
anymore.
during, what do you mean? From who?
Just comments from just random people.
Oh, you're talking about like social media stuff?
Yeah, social media or just like people that, like I said, people will always talk about you. People will always judge you. So you just have to, for all the people who want to be in this industry, people are going to say negative things about you. Do not let it get you down. Pay no attention. Do not respond. Do not comment. Don't even, you know, I try to stay away from the whole comment section, but I just can't help to just look at, because so many people have positive things to say, whether it's about the song or whether it's about my, you know, survival story or whether it's about whatever. There's a lot of positive things on there, and that encourages me to do a better performance next time or whatever. Like to even, you know, amp it up and do like, okay, I have to keep them engaged and happy. And so I enjoy it for that moment, but don't ever let the comments get you down or get you to a place where you think you're better than anybody or you're lower than anybody.
If you're not going to totally take in the negative comments, you got to be careful with the positive ones too.
How you taking the positive things.
Right.
Yep. I can't even really explain it. You just have to be in a mindset where none of it affects you. You have to be in a mindset, which is a hard thing to do as artists, as you know, entertainers. You just cannot let it affect you at all. Just go and remain in your same lane. That's another thing that I've learned to do. Stay in your lane. I mean, when I say stay in your lane, stay in your whatever your lane is of thinking, and don't let any negative or positive thing impact that, because it's going to impact your performance 9 times out of 10.
All right. So let's go back to the first one. All right. So you come in to do the blind audition, and you know, for those who haven't seen the show, I mean, it's very popular, but you know, the judges who again are now Adam Levine, Alicia Keys, Kelly Clarkson, and Blake Shelton, and so the chairs are facing the other direction, so they don't see the contestant, which I love.
That's the best part about the show.
Weight or height or whatever it is has nothing to do with it. It's what they hear. You know, you want to take your career to the whole next level. So you know that this is possibly a chance to really give it an even bigger kick.
Absolutely.
So I'm imagining behind the stage, before you go out for that blind audition, and we'll come in a moment to the song you were going to sing, what were you feeling when you were getting ready to walk out, knowing you got cameras on you, you got those people who are great singers themselves. They're not just judges, these are artists.
All of them.
What were you thinking?
That was the first time that I had been put in that situation. And it was just like, oh my God. That moment was the make or break moment for me. It's either you're going to make it into this competition or you're not going to make it into this competition. So I knew that I had to go and give it my all, or give it everything that I could, the best that I could. So just standing there, being behind the stage. First of all, it's a long day. It's an extremely long day. I think we had to be at hair and makeup at like 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe.
Oh my God. This is for the first audition.
This is for the first audition. And mind you, during this first time, we had gone went from several thousand to now we're at 104 people. So there's 104 people going in and out of hair and makeup. You got to go in wardrobe. You have to make sure everything is right. You have to go do interviews. You have to take pictures.
This is before? Oh, right. Because they do a story.
Yep. This is all before you even go on stage. So you're running around, you're doing all of this stuff, and it's just like, oh my God, it's hectic. I'm just worried about what I'm going to sound like when I get on stage. I have to make sure that I have to do my best. So with all of that being in the background and just actually getting onto the lot where the stage was, it didn't get real until I actually, not when I say real, it didn't freak me out inside until I actually took that first step to walk onto the stage. Let me be clear. I was extremely nervous, but I didn't really get freaked out until I took that first step onto the stage. And it screwed with me because I'm like, what is going on? Like, I performed on hundreds of stages for millions, thousands of people, cameras on me. What's different now? And I hit my spot on the stage and I took a deep breath in. And as soon as he played those first chords and I said, just a small town girl, everything just kind of released it in. So it was like a free moment right there. I didn't even know Adam was going to turn around as soon as he did, but it's just as soon as I said, just a small town girl.
Right, first phrase.
I literally
he slammed that button.
I felt free after that. I felt the pressure of everything that I was dealing with during the day or thinking about kind of went away. Yet it was still challenging a little bit just to keep audience engaged and to make sure that I want to get somebody else to turn around too. And just to, just that whole experience of me being on national TV by myself. And as Rayshun Lamarr, the artist, it was nerve-wracking and challenging. But when I got after that first phrase, it was just
how aware were you when Adam turned?
So I really wasn't that aware. Like I heard just a small town girl living in a lonely world, or whenever he turned.
It was just a small town girl. Yeah. Bam, he turned. It was that fast.
I heard it, and I think I in my mind I was like, yes. But I got to keep going. I got to keep going. I can't freak out. I got to keep going. That's just one chair. I want another one. I want 4 if I can get 4. But I just wanted to keep going and make sure I did a somewhat solid performance. But that chair turned around and you notice that at that point you're on the show. You can't help but to just get like some type of, oh my God, like it's still trying to remain.
But you still got another, what is it, 90 seconds? You got like another, 70 seconds or something.
So it's just sitting there with that in the back of your head singing. It's like, oh my God, I'm on the show. Oh my God, I'm on the show, but I got to finish the song. But I'm on the show, Lord, I'm on the show, but I gotta finish the song. But so it was that kind of pressure at that point.
And then what about when Alicia turned?
Oh man, when Alicia turned, I was like, man, let me tell you, that was one of the most difficult decisions that I had to make.
And she came out. That was funny. All right, so let's break it down for the audience, and then you can get it on YouTube and everything, or maybe not that part, but I don't remember. But in any case, she came out and even like hugged you.
She did. She literally walked up to the stage. She hugged me. She whispered in my ear. She was like, "You're gonna be great." Like,
regardless, in a sense, yeah.
Or whatever that meant. And she was just like, "This is your moment." This is a divine moment. This is, God put us here to meet each other and to do all that. And I'm like, man, how can I not choose that? So at that point, that was going to be my coach at that point. And then Adam came and was like, hey, I want to, there's a lot of stuff that they cut out on the thing. He told me that I was going to be, I could be a world-class singer. He told me that he wants to just take me and like teach me and just, I could learn so much from him, and he wants to just move me to another place in life. And then he pointed out a flaw, which they didn't really show on the screen. He was like, "There's some."
No, he said that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he was like, there's some moments that could have been a little bit better,
right?
And right then and there,
right.
That's when I was like, I want that,
yeah.
Because I want to evolve.
He's going to be straight with you,
bigger, And that's another thing that I truly appreciate about Adam. Adam is a great person. The way he is on TV is the way that he is in real life. And he doesn't hold anything back. Like, if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But it's all in love. Like, if he's correcting you like that, he wants you to be better. He wants it to be good or whatever the case is. So I took that and I'm like, I want to be the sponge. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to be the entertainers that all 4 of them are, or even better one day. So I just want to be where they are. So in order for me to get there, he's been there. He's willing to teach me those things. He's willing to try to help me get to a point where I can understand it for myself as well. So I really appreciate that about Adam. Not saying that Alicia wasn't going to do that, but this Adam just so happened to say that. And I'm like, wow, yeah, well, I'm going with Adam right then and there.
And what about the song? So you chose...
So I chose Don't Stop Believing.
Right. And it's been all over TV, but if you could share, in this moment now, why you chose that song.
Yeah, so a little over 5, maybe 6 years ago, was it that long? It might have been 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I ended up in ICU, and I was actually going to a doctor's appointment because I was like, something's wrong. I can't walk 10 steps without sitting down and feeling like I'm going to die or collapse. So I get to my doctor's office, and they run tests, and I remember sitting in the room. After they ran all the tests, waiting for my ride to come, and I'm like, can I just lay down for a minute? They were like, sure. So I laid down for about 30 minutes, and then the doctor came in again. And he was like, hey, we have to move you to another room because there's a patient coming in. So we're going to move you while you wait for your friend. We'll move you to another room. So I said, okay, cool. So I move out to the room. They came and got me from out of the room, and I'm walking, and literally my vision went out, my legs collapsed. And I mean, I just dropped. Like my legs went out, completely went out. And my vision went out, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't see. I'm freaking out. I can't see nothing. I can't feel nothing. My legs are gone. I mean, not gone, but they went out. So they rushed me to this main hospital. And I remember getting there in the ER. I mean, we went straight in through the ER. I mean, the ER, and there was like 5 nurses and doctors just waiting there for me. So I'm like, okay, what's really going on? Like, what's happening? I'm seeing too much, and I need to know what's going on. So they rushed me back to the room, stretched me out on the bed. I literally had doctors all over my body, poking me, sticking catheters in me, just putting things down my throat, and like everywhere. There was like doctors and nurse everywhere, and I blacked out. I remember waking back up, and I see my mom sitting at the end. Like, she was in the room, but I saw her like towards the end. And I remember the doctor saying, hey, you need to call your immediate family because we don't know if he's going to make it we don't know if he's going to make it overnight. Yeah. So wow, hearing that and then hearing my mom, my God. Sorry. Hearing that and then hear my mom, it's hard to hear your mom cry, you know?
Yeah.
Because, sorry.
No, of course.
It's just hard to see that and hear that and know, oh my God, what's really going on? At this point, I still don't know what was going on. I didn't know what was happening, and just being in that situation, I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean call the family? When they say that, something bad is happening. Like, call the family.
And you heard that.
I heard that. And then after that, I blacked out again. When I woke up, I was in ICU, and I had my family around me, and we got to this point because we were talking about Don't Stop Believing and how I chose a song. But I mean, of course, I used to sing it in the band with Andy, but it never meant the same thing at that point until I got into the hospital, and I played it, and I listened to the words, and I just kept listening to it over and over and over again. I was like, I got to get out of this because I'm here for a reason. I'm not going to die right now. Like, I have to keep moving. I have to motivate myself. I have to believe that I'm going to get out of here. I have to believe that, you know what I'm saying? I have to believe that I'm going to like continue my dream. Like, I was with you. I think when I was working with you guys, I don't know if I was working at the bank yet, but that's all I wanted to do was just sing, be on stage. I was not ready to go out. I mean, knowing that I haven't fulfilled everything that I wanted to do in life. So I would just continue to play Don't Stop Believing over and over and over in that room. And I totally have a new respect for the song. It just brought me through. It brought me to life, technically. Like, it brought me through. It brought me out of that situation because I never stopped believing. I continued with a positive attitude. And I just always tell myself, listen, keep going. Hold on.
Wow,
Hold on. It's kind of, it's not the end. Hold on.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I did not know if it was the end. I did not know what was going to happen. Right. But I just said, I'm just going to believe in my mind that I'm going to make it out of here, and I'm going to continue to do what I was put here to do. So that was the reason why I chose Don't Stop Believing.
Fits who you are, because some people, I don't even know what I would do if I heard all of this. Some people would just immediately go deep depression and just like give up.
Yeah, I wanted to at first, but then I was sitting in the room listening to music and Don't Stop Believing came on. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is what I needed to hear at this moment. Because it wasn't always, don't stop believing, stay positive. Because when you hear you need to call the doctors, it's over. It's a wrap. So I'm thinking I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I thought about that for maybe two days while in ICU. Just straight, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm scared to close my eyes because I don't know what's gonna happen the next. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard thing to deal with. I don't know there's people that's dealt with it out there, so But for people who have not been in a situation where you don't know if you're gonna live or die, it make you think of life totally different.
Wow.
Like,
and I remember you brought that to that performance that day.
Sorry.
No, don't pause. What are you kidding? You know, when we went to Singapore,
yes,
and also, you know, the promo thing, we have 2 versions, especially of you singing "Don't Stop Believing," especially the one in Singapore.
Yeah,
we'll put it in the show notes. We'll put links to it.
Please, yes,
and please, whoever's out there, don't nail us. We've been trying to get permission. We have not gotten any phone calls back, but we're going to put it up anyway.
Yeah.
The video clip where it also says it all in that, and that was well after. So that song at that time meant something to Singapore too.
Yeah, I still use it as a tool to, you know, every time I'm down, I use it as a tool, you know, listen, get your stuff together or get back into the good mindset. It's not over. So
the next time you came on to perform were the knockout rounds.
Yep.
And Sweet Thing by Shaka Khan. And it's like the Alicia thing. It's another iconic song. And I can't believe Adam had the nerve to put you up. Tell me her name again.
Tish Hayes.
Yeah. Okay. So killer female singer.
Killer.
Where that's like could be, you know, a signature song for her.
For her.
And you're a guy and it's the whole and Rayshun, man, when I watched that, oh my God, you tore it apart. And that was tough.
Man, yeah. So I knew that I was going to have fun doing the song.
The moment he told you that's the song, you were like, okay, give it to me?
No, it wasn't the moment. But so when he first told me that song, I was like, bro.
Like, what?
Wait, this is a shocker. But before I knew the song,
of course,
I didn't know who I was going to be paired up with. So I was like, okay, I got the song. And when I first got the song, I'm like, oh man, like why did he give me a Shaka Khan song? And why is it Sweet Thing of all songs? So how am I gonna pull this off?
And let's explain for those who don't know, the few who don't know the battle round. It's a duet.
It's a duet.
And so it's whoever you're paired up with, you're going to go up, you're going to sing it together. And then Adam, as your team guy, is going to then choose who continues and who doesn't. So let's just throw that little information in there.
And that's how that was. So, and then the way that they revealed who was going to be our partners for battle, they take us in a big room. It's this huge screen, this huge TV screen on the wall. And they play the other person's blind audition.
Oh.
So I walk into the room, right? So first I get this song Sweet Thing and I'm like, oh God, Adam's trying to challenge me. Like he's really challenging me to see what I can do. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? And who am I going to do this with? So we get in the room and the first thing that comes on is boom. Change. I'm like, no. At that very moment, I was like, no, there's no way I'm going to win this battle with Tish Haynes Keys singing a Shaka Khan song. And Tish Haynes Keys could murder a Shaka Khan, Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle. This chick is like powerhouse. I have so much respect for Tish Haynes Keys. She's a great person, number one. And the way that I think we had so much fun doing that battle because we were friends. We like became really close friends. Like we hang out. To this day, we hang out
this
together.
Really makes it complicated.
Yeah, well, there's one more trick that I have to tell you about too. So we hang out together and, but we decided to tell each other, listen, we don't want to go over there, go and do this and just yell at each other and see who has the hardest or the highest note or the heaviest whatever. We're here to make good music. We're here to make it a good performance. So when we both put our minds together and we both came up with something to make it so that we can both shine in certain ways and just to make it just a wonderful performance, it was so easy.
Wait, do you both have a lot to do with the arrangement?
Oh yeah, we did.
It wasn't like dictated to you.
No. They didn't tell us. They give us the song. So the way that it works, so you find out the song, find out your partner, and then we get together and we do the work ourselves.
Rayshun, man, that arrangement, that vocal arrangement, insane.
Thank you, man. Yeah, all that's me and all her part is her. Like we came up with a couple things together in that song, but we just made it so that each person can have their own, whatever they are, can have their own moment. And it won't be like a shouting match. It won't be a screaming match. It'll be like, this is a performance. This is not a competition at this moment. So we wanted to make it that way. Yeah, even though it is competition.
And I could tell watching it. I mean, I wasn't privy to anything ahead of time. I'm watching it with the public.
Yeah.
I could see that too.
Mm-hmm. we just wanted the best. We wanted to do a really, really, really good job overall. You know, no matter who won, who lost, we wanted to go and give it our all, making the world say, hey, they had a great performance.
Yes, I saw you enjoying her also. I mean, of course, you there's a certain point where you can't, it's both. It's enjoying and you're staying on point. Yeah. But I could see that in your eyes, too.
Yeah.
Even though this is going to be one or the other is going to go home. Unless they get stolen, which is what happened, or whatever it was, whatever it's called.
Which is what happened. Yeah. I mean, Tish is she deserves to be in this competition.
But here's the thing. So I remember, each of the judges gave some comments, and then Adam, he's getting ready to, of course, I'm sure they all have to always hesitate, but he then said your name. You looked stunned.
I was.
Stunned.
I was. Because hearing Blake's comments and then Kelly's, they all went with her. So I was like, man, well, what am I going to do? I kind of turned down Alicia for the blind. So now she's not going to vote for me. So at that point I was like, man, it's a killer song. I gave it my best. I put my Rayshunisms in it and I gave it my own little swing and I was just hoping for the best. And either way, I just knew that I gave it my all. And I knew that if I was going to go home that day, I went home trying to kick some butt or just knowing that I fought with all that I had at that moment.
So what was it like when you heard your name?
Man, if you go back and look at the videos, I was in utter shock. I just knew I was going to go. Let me not say I knew I was going to go home. I was hoping to be saved if I lost. But at that moment, I was like, man, I know Tish is about to win this thing. And he was like, whenever this battle is Rayshun. I was like, what? Literally, I was utterly surprised and shocked.
Yeah.
Because like he said, this song was suited more so for her because this is a rangy song. It's a belty song. It's a freaking Chaka Khan song. And, so that was pretty much suited up and booted up for her, in my opinion. So I was like, man, this is her thing. This is where she lives.
See, and in spite of that, again, you brought your positive, the whole thing, and I'm going to enjoy it. In spite of that could have shut down some people.
Oh, yeah.
And that might have been part of the test here.
Yep. I think it was.
I think so because
I absolutely think it was.
Adam believes in you. It's obvious, and if you're going to go all the way to that high level, this kind of thing is a test.
Yep.
Wow.
So luckily I'm passing each test.
All right. So let's go to the next one. All right. So the next one is the knockout round.
The knockout round.
Okay.
So then let me explain the knockout round. So the way the knockout rounds work are, so there are two contestants on the same team. So I went up against Gary Edwards, and during the knockout, so one person sings maybe like a minute or 2 minutes of one song, and the other person sings a minute or two of another song, and whoever has the best performance or song, rendition or whatever, wins that.
And he's
that
a
knockout.
fine singer. That guy.
He's an amazing singer. He's an amazing singer. We are actually roommates.
Oh, it's him. Oh, cool.
Yes, we are actually roommates. And
he got
when we found out. It's so weird because I was like,
"Oh, that's funky." Do
this?
Oh, wait a minute! Oh my God, I'm catching it now. You're rooming together.
We're rooming together. Yeah. But luckily, and like I said, I have no negative comments about anybody. Everybody on this show has genuinely been 100% positive about every situation, and that makes everything easier. That makes life go better. I thought we were going to freak out when we kind of did freak out when we found out we were battling each other and we were both roommates because, we've been living together for the last few months and just, sharing like just spiritual stuff and just bonding and just connecting with each other. It's just like, oh man, now you're going to put us up against each other. So it's like, oh man. And then, we prayed about it. We had conversations about it and we're like, hey bro, we're both in this competition and we're both here for a reason. We're both here because clearly we have some type of something. So, whatever happens, no one did better than the other. So, and that's another, I call him my God brother because, we connect very well spiritually and we connect very well, like on a friend level. He's cool and very understanding of me and my personality and my lifestyle. And I'm respectful of his and his lifestyle. and we just work together. It's just, and when they put us up together, I was like, man, we both said, like, again, at the end of the day, we both gave it our all. And
well, and what's interesting? Like, obviously on the show, it's so interesting to me. Again, to me, it's more putting you in really tough situations to see how you do, because this industry,
and that was
you got to have more.
definitely a tricky, tough situation for a second.
He went first. You're sitting on the side of the stage.
Watching.
You're in the shot many times with the camera, and sometimes they do a close up on you when he was singing. And I know it's purely sincere. I was wondering, how's Rayshun going to look? And you looked like you were rooting for him in a sense. You were enjoying that guy. I could tell.
I definitely was. Gary is a fine singer. Like, he is pitch.
No, he's serious. I know.
Yeah, no, he's definitely. Listen,
I'd put him in the band.
And he does stuff like that too, and he's great at it. We had a moment where some of the contestants went out like to a karaoke thing. This man went up and did some. What song was it? I can't remember what it was. I'm like, man, that's definitely, he's a showman. Like, he was great. But no, I have all respect for Gary. And like, I love that brother. Like, he's a talented, gifted guy. And I just, at the end of the day, I always say he has his lane. I have my lane too. And we're we don't kind of compete with each other, but we just love and root for each other.
And here's the interesting thing. So he goes first, which I think is easier in a way. There's pros and cons to both.
Man,
but you're sitting on there watching, and now you've been tested a lot, man.
I've been tested a lot.
Then you got to get up and now sing. And we talked earlier about the challenge of doing Fallen. And okay, so, and I remember, some of the advice that Adam gave you. I remember, I guess you were avoiding the higher note, and he was like, you got to hit that. Yeah. I mean, that's like an iconic moment. You got to do it. Even
he said you got to do it.
And I caught it all. He was like, even if it's for a moment. And so, and I love when you did it. I'm sure you didn't plan it, because I know you jumped into the air. You jumped into the air.
Man, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, at that point, I'd already heard Gary. I was like, okay, Gary just murdered. He just killed this song, like smashed it, like gave it his all. Everything was on. So I was like, I got to give my all. I have to give it. Whatever it is, what comes out happens. And I gave it, and I was like, at that
right.
During rehearsal, I think they showed a bit of it on one of the episodes, but during rehearsal, I wouldn't do it.
Well, because I just thought they wouldn't give it away.
I know.
You just didn't do it. Are you saying you're not telling me the first time you did it was at the performance?
The first time I did it full
on
out
camera?
Like
Come on.
Was on this.
Adam would let you get away with that.
No, so Adam checked me about it first. He was like, listen, you sound great, man, but it's such an iconic song. Everybody's waiting for that. And I'm like, Adam, bro, I just don't want to embarrass myself and try to go for that note and then not hit the note, or whether, it's like, I gotta, like, I'm nervous to try to do, that's a big note. And I did it. I don't know if we did it in the same key. I either did it a half step under, or we did it in the same key. I can't remember, but I was like,
it's at the top of your range. This is the top of your range.
That's up there.
Yeah.
So that just came out. My whole little jump thing just came out of nowhere. But during rehearsal, I would avoid that part. I would like try to scat and do something else.
Then you had to be. If that's the case, you must have been terrified in a sense, right? I mean, because that could just blow the whole thing. You missed that note.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Wow.
I'd probably either would have been out of the competition or
I was gonna ask what you were thinking, but I already know you weren't thinking because you were in the zone.
Yeah, that's all. That's the best way to put it.
Deliver the message of the song.
Absolutely. That's the best way to put it. That's the best way I can say that it happened because I was in the zone.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't do it in rehearsal because I was scared of it.
Yeah.
Adam pointed it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I was like, dang, I got to get it. I got to do it. I'm not going to let Adam down. I'm not trying to go home. However it's going to come out, it's going to come out. And I pray to God that it comes out right. And it did. Man. I was in the zone. I was in the mood.
And I'm going to say again, Rayshun, like I said earlier, when I heard you doing that on TV with everyone else, I was like, he went to another level. As a singer, the performer, you've been there, but as a singer, you went to another level. I mean, I can't wait to see what's coming next. All right. Yeah. So as far as what's coming next, now tomorrow, and you're probably not allowed to talk about it yet.
Well, we'll talk until I can't talk.
Or wait a minute. But you know what? Yeah, you know what? Actually, this is going to be published after
Right.
the live tomorrow.
Yes, it will be.
So I don't know.
But I don't want to give you. I don't want to give it away for you.
And I know you signed a lot of legal documents.
I've signed a lot of legal documents.
Okay, so what can you tell me about tomorrow? You're sitting here with me and you got this tomorrow?
Yeah. So tomorrow is a big day. We have 5:00 call.
Yeah, explain for everyone how the lives work.
Yeah, so the live works. So the way that it works this year, which is a little different than the way that it's been working in the past. So this year is the first year that all 24 artists are going to perform the same night. So we're all going on stage tomorrow night. We have about a minute and 45 to 55 seconds of a song to deliver, and so the America picks tomorrow.
No, the song. Who picks the song?
So Adam picked my song this time. So Adam chose a good song, which is Adam is taking me on a journey. I must say that without giving the song away. He's taking me on a ride. I think he's trying to figure out what I can and cannot do, and what my abilities are with this next song. I mean, but I haven't had that moment to give this type of song to him yet, or to the world yet. But you've experienced it before.
Oh, it's a song that you've sung in.
Well, I haven't sang it before, but you've experienced me doing this type.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Okay.
So tomorrow I get to sing that song, and so the way that it works is our judges. So our teams are going to go block by block. So I don't know whose team first. I mean, whose team is going to go first, but it's either going to be Adam, Alicia, or Kelly or Blake. But the block of the teams go, and there's like a window of time that you can call for that artist, for that team and that artist. So once the window closes and they move on to the next team, then those votes for that team or that artist is done.
Gotcha.
And at the end of the night, we have a real time. We'll figure out who the 4 people that would be going straight to the top 12.
Oh, wait, they tally the votes that night?
Yeah, and they take.
But they announce it the next Monday.
They announce it tomorrow night.
Oh, on the same night. I thought they'd wait to the next. Okay.
So the way that it works is, so we do the blocks. And you have that time, that window to vote.
Yeah.
And then at the end of whoever goes last, the very last artist, they'll have like maybe 5 or 10 minutes. They'll have some commercials there. So at that time, they'll be tallying the votes and see whoever is moving on to the top 12 right away. So they'll choose one person from each team to move on right away to the top 12. And then the other remaining 20 artists will compete again with another song Tuesday and Wednesday. So 2 teams will go Tuesday and 2 teams will go Wednesday.
Broadcast live on TV, or because I thought it's just a weekly. Oh, so it's 3 nights in a row.
Yep, 3 nights in a row. It's all live. And so Monday will be singing. All 24 will sing. Wow. They will tally up the votes, and whoever has the highest votes on each team will move on to the top 12 right then and there. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of us will find out on Wednesday night after the Tuesday thing. Yeah, after the Tuesday and Wednesday artists have gone.
Okay. And then, sing. And I know you're gonna make it. So the next Monday, then we're down to how many again? Did you say?
So then we'll be down to 12.
12, and I think you each probably perform 2 songs at each show from then on.
Yep. From then on, we'll perform 2 songs, and it's gonna just keep going. I got it. Whatever happens. So everything is changing this year from a lot of stuff that we had the previous years. So. Yeah. Just gotta stay tuned.
Okay, so and when does the show end? How many more episodes do you know off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, I do not know. I do know that the last episode is May 22nd.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah. So there's
so they'll stretch it out a little. They'll have like
3 episodes a week.
Reveal show.
Yeah.
And then,
so it's definitely going to be some of that stuff.
Oh, great. Oh, cool.
So I'll be around until May 22nd, everybody. We'll put that in the air.
Wow.
Put that out in the universe.
Now it's up to us to support you and vote.
Yes,
which I urge everybody. I'm telling you, everybody. I'm speaking right now just to the crowd. If you can excuse me for a moment, Rayshun. I have worked with Rayshun, as he reminded me, 11 years. Yeah. I have seen it all with this guy. I'm telling you, everybody. I'm telling you. Yeah. I'm exactly with Adam. He said it several times. Rayshun is special. And it's not just a setup, because I'm not saying don't give him a free vote.
No.
You will deliver every time. All right. So
just give me an honest vote. You don't have to give it.
Let him earn it. But I know he's going to earn it. So, all right. So, wow, man, Rayshun, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
All right. I want to come back just a couple little topics here before we go. In terms of some tips and advice that you can give people who, like you were diagnosed with cancer, you didn't give up and all of that. You've talked about it from your perspective, but let's say for someone who wants to live a creative life, someone who wants to, and they're dealing with all kinds of challenges like this, what is like the main thing that you would say to someone who wants to live a creative life and they have a huge challenge to that creative life?
What I would say is to that person is continue to live your creative life. Stay positive. Stay grounded in stay with a lot of positive people. I would say surround yourself with a lot of positive people, and just remember, everything will work out if you just continue to believe, if you keep going, if you continue to go after whatever it is. The only thing I've learned at the end of the day, the only thing that can stop you for real is yourself a lot of times. And we can get in our minds, in our mindset of thinking, oh, I have this disease, or I have this situation, or I have this attached to me, so I cannot do this other thing that I've been doing for all of my life, or that I feel creative about. So you have to get back into that mindset of thinking, hey, listen, that's just only an extra bonus or extra thing that's a part of me right now. It's not who I am. It doesn't define me. It doesn't define you. Just keep going and stay positive, stay humble, stay believing in your higher power or whoever that is. And whatever you think will get you through the day, or whatever you feel that uplifts you, whether that's music, whether that's you watching a certain movie that's your favorite movie, watch it, listen to it, move on, get up. There's so much life that you have left to live. So don't ever think that it's the end. Don't ever think it's going to ever end. It will only end when you want it to end. So just remain positive, remain focused, remain yourself, and love yourself. Love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you won't be able to see what I'm talking about. Love yourself enough to do whatever it is that you want to do. Love yourself enough to know that this is just a minor thing that's just maybe being like a little chip on my shoulder that's right there. It's not you. It's not who you are. So that's what I would have to tell people. And just remember to keep believing. Don't stop. It's the song.
There you go. and I'm going to add to that. I asked about for creative. This is obviously what you're saying goes for anyone, creative or not, whatever. Entrepreneurs, the whole anyone,
whoever it is, whether you're creative, whether you're a business person, whether you're whatever it is, whatever your goal. Like how I used to sing with in the beginning of Don't Stop Believing. Whatever your goals, whatever your vision, whatever your dream is, and that's real stuff. Don't stop believing in it.
And can we add to that too? Would you agree doing what you love in the industry you're in can spur you to great things and quote unquote success and all of it? All of it.
All of it. All of it. Yep.
Well, Rayshun, I can't wait to watch you, tomorrow night, Monday night,
tomorrow night.
And when this episode comes out, I know you're still going to be competing. So it's like and it's not going to be, the next Monday, the next Monday, the next Monday.
Yep.
So I want to urge everyone to watch The Voice on NBC.
Yes, please do.
And if you can't watch it live, record it and watch it. And we're going to include in the show notes all kinds of information on you, Rayshun, that we got. We'll get that clip until we get a cease and desist letter of Don't Stop Believing It, in Singapore with that wild, because that's a great shot of you doing it. And we'll also include links of The Voice's YouTube links that they have, and we'll keep it current. And I just urge everyone to watch and vote for Rayshun.
Yeah, vote for Rayshun. Rayshun Nation, baby.
Right? We'll put all the handles in there too.
Rayshun Nation on your side. Hopefully I don't get sued for that.
You know what? Will you sing before we go here? Let me first say this, Tracy. I got to say, I want to say this. Again, I have been so honored to be a part, not just a friend with you, which we have become.
Absolutely.
But musically, to share this with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like welling up here. I am just so moved. It is an honor and a privilege, Rayshun, to have been part of this with you.
Likewise,
I mean, man, I love you. I wish the best. Yeah.
You already know that, man. It's like I said earlier, it's been an honor and privilege of sharing this moment and being able to get to this moment with the help of you and the success of Sound Connection.
Well, thank you for what you've done for us.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Can you sing a little something? It could be part of something, whatever. I don't know, something that you might feel moved by right now. Just a cappella. I know that's a challenge. There's no music behind you.
Okay. Let's see. Anything?
Whatever you feel.
Okay. Them that's got shall get. Them that's not shall lose. For the Bible says it, and it still is news. Your mama may have, and your papa may have. But God bless the child that's got his own. That's got its own.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
You welcome, bro. Anything, man. Anything for you, Doc. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Killed it.
This has been The Wedding Biz with Andy Kushner. You can find us at thewedingbiz.com and on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Wedding Biz Show.
I gave you my heart.
If you want to support the show, we'd be grateful if you shared it with colleagues, friends, and family. We'd also appreciate your review wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening.
It'll never shatter, no matter what we go through. I gave my heart to you. I gave you my heart on a silver platter, 'cause you make my dreams come true. It won't crack, baby, it'll never shatter, no matter what we go through. I gave you my heart on a